told you to stay below decks.
I did as you asked. Only Mills was there waiting for me. He's the one that drew that ship here. There was no mutiny, only him.
What do they want?
Me.
Then they can have you.
Is that so?
They'll catch us anyway. There's nothing to be done.
I can think of something.
You wish us to sail into the storm?
It's our only chance.
I won't do it.
Then I will.
All right, all right. We need those ropes secured!
Testing, testing. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 Cinestrain 01 testing. So, what's up, everybody? This is a very impromptu stream, obviously, because I wanted to test something. So, I've been really getting into trying to make the best quality that I possibly can. So, we're testing something today, which is HDR live streaming. So, this is only going to work for those people that actually have HDR. Say you're watching on your phone and your phone has HDR. So what I need you to do, if you're watching on your phone or you're watching on your TV or monitor, if it has HDR, I want you to make sure that you guys turn HDR on so that you're watching it in HDR. If you're not watching it in HDR, I still need your advice. I still want to make sure that the gameplay that you see still ends up being very high quality, just like you would normally see. So this specific test here is to just find out that I can actually stream in HDR. So for those of you that have an HDR device, look on your device and let me know if it shows up that I am streaming in HDR. So we're going to play a little bit of Assassin's Creed 3 while that happens. And for those that have an HDR monitor or a device to watch it on, you should be able to notice the difference in HDR. So again, let me know if you guys can actually see this or not. And yeah, let's just take a look.
I told you this was madness.
Calm yourself. I'll fix your sail for you.
So yes, we have Assassin's Creed 3 remastered up, because this is one of the new walkthroughs that I'm currently working on, and I just wanted to test this for a second. Of course, I don't have a date when this walkthrough would be coming out, but this is right here specifically for testing purposes. So what you should be seeing is the picture should be look if you have an HDR setup. Again, this only works for those of you that actually have an HDR phone or whatever you're watching this on. But if you do, let me know, and let me know that it's actually working in HDR. Essentially, you should see a huge color difference, obviously, when you're viewing in HDR. For those of you that don't know, HDR is high dynamic range. It does show, and it looks good. Awesome. So this is going to, you're finally going to get to see what it is that I see when I play these games.
Take them! You take the foremast!
How's it running? Is it running smooth?
To the main mast with you!
Yeah, I was a big fan of AC3 as well. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it was one of my biggest walkthroughs on the channel way back in the day. And it's the old style of AC, so it's really nostalgia for me to sit here and play it. How does it look on your phone? Let me know. Does the colors actually pop more? Are you seeing a difference than what you normally see in regular HD SDR? Make sure you reset your device and make sure you have HDR on if it's not showing for you. And remember, you also have to have an HDR playable device for it to work.
They're all too wet! I'm slipping! Oh, thank you, thank you.
So this is what you're seeing here, is if you're able to watch this, is what I normally see when I'm playing my games, because I play all my games in HDR. I always have my monitor set on to HDR so that I can have the most vibrant colors and everything looks just as good as it possibly can be. And this is just one of those games that allows you to use HDR. The funny thing is, I actually have, if you go into the settings here, the funny thing is I have HDR set to off, actually. And audio HDR from Windows 11 is actually on. So what makes this so funny is that when I turn, like, watch this, I'm going to turn HDR on, and you're going to notice that it does not look as good as the auto HDR, in my opinion. Like, the text doesn't pop as much. I want to know what your opinion on that is. Let me know if to you this looks better right here. This is with HDR on. The other one was with auto HDR. Let me know which one pops to you more, because it matters to me what you guys see more than what I see. Actually, let me see if we are doing any frame drops here, because I mean, that is very, very possible. Let me check real quick. Okay, I've got that up, so I'm going to see if I've got no dropped frames as of yet on the... Okay, that looks good. Alright, so this is what actual HDR in the game looks like. Do you guys notice any difference? Has that improved whatsoever? Because for some reason it just feels like to me the normal HDR mode, or the doesn't look as good as auto HDR. That is something which is Windows 11 comes with. When is the walkthrough coming out? I mean, I'm not going to say 100% for sure. Obviously, we're going through the sequences, and I was just doing a test here because I wanted to see when I start live streaming games, like, say, Jedi Survivor, which is a game that we've got going on the channel. I wanted to try to, you know, stream it in HDR and see if that would actually work. And I looked it up, and I was like, huh, you can actually stream HDR on YouTube. Which one do you prefer better? this one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do like maybe 2 minutes of this one here. Then I'm going to switch to the auto HDR as we're walking through, I think it's Boston. Let me know which one you think looks the best.
Make ready for our arrival, men!
Arrival? I see no land, only this interminable fog.
The
One thing
gulls
I
tell
noticed
us all
is,
we
I don't know
need
if
to
you
know.
noticed that, but
Climb into the crow's nest and you'll see.
the colors just don't actually pop out as much to me when this is in HDR mode, as opposed to when it's in auto. So I'm gonna, you know, take a look at this. And kind of get a glimpse and a sense of what I'm working with here. I mean, obviously they're popping big time. I just want to know which one looks best for YouTube. Is it auto HDR that we did earlier, or is it this one? Now, for those of you watching in SDR, let me know how it looks too. Hopefully the colors don't look washed. That's the biggest thing. Does it still look normal to all of you that are watching in just regular SDR? Every time I hear that music, man, it just gives me chills. No, it's not PC specific. HDR is also on consoles.
Master Kenway! Master Kenway!
Yes, may I help you?
Charles Lee, sir. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've been asked to introduce you to the city, help you settle in. Oh, no need, sir. I've arranged for your bags to be delivered to the inn.
All right, so you've seen a little bit with the HDR mode on. Now we're going to switch to HDR mode off, but the auto HDR is going to be on. So tell me if this looks better than what you just saw.
Are you by any chance John and Isabella's son?
One and the same.
Your commission is with Edward Braddock, is it not?
Aye. But he's yet to reach America, and I figured I might... Well, at least until he arrives. I thought...
Yes? Out with it.
Forgive me, sir. I had hoped that I might study under you. If I am to serve the Order, I can imagine no better mentor than yourself.
Hello,
Kind of you
sir.
to say, but I think you overestimate me.
Impossible, sir.
In my opinion,
way.
this looks better, but let me know what you guys think.
Bloody hell!
Looks way better? Exactly. So the HDR mode in Assassin's Creed 3 is obviously not something that's like that good. So Windows' own auto HDR makes everything pop so much better, right?
Boston's quite a lively city.
There's all manner of things to see and do. Once you've settled in, I suggest you take some time to walk the streets. Who knows what opportunities you might be.
All right, so you saw this game here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch to let's see, what can I switch to that will let's switch to Jedi Survivor real quick. So give me a second while we while this comes up. Just give me a second and this will come up. All right, so now what you're going to be seeing is what I have been seeing this entire time when we've been playing Star Wars. So now you're going to see this game in HDR. Now this one is not using auto HDR. This is actually using its HDR. So give it a second here. Obviously, it's optimizing the game files. So what you've been seeing through my entire playthrough is just the SDR version of the game. You haven't seen exactly what I've been seeing. So now, at this point, when it comes up, if you have an HDR compatible device, you will literally see exactly what I have been seeing this whole time. And it is truly breathtaking. I think this game does great HDR. All right, so first of all, to show that that's what we've got on, because that's what I've had on this entire time. Ray tracing still on, HDR output on. So you should see the colors pop as well when we start this up. And there we go. How does that look? And try to compare it to what you have seen previously. Let me get to where we can fight off a few enemies here. You can already see the difference. Yeah. Should be some enemies we can face off here. So this is exactly how I have been playing it, which it's like night and day difference, honestly. It is a little bit harder to tell in a night city, though. I will definitely say that. But as you can see, that's what it looks like in HDR here, but obviously it's not in daytime. So what I'm going to do now is show you a big difference. We're going to bring up a game that needs no introduction, that this should really, really pop out to you guys. Let me bring it up here. Well, like I said, your phone has to actually have HDR capability. Like my iPhone does, my iPhone 11 or 12. I don't remember exactly which one I have, but it shows HDR, so. So this is Cyberpunk 2077. Remember, this is the first time that I've ever tried to stream on HDR, so that's the biggest thing. Usually, you know, when you try to do videos in HDR, they take hours, sometimes days, to finally render in HDR.
Feels great to have you back. So then, did you all hear about that Arasaka aircraft carrier docked in Night City?
All right, so here we go. Just so you guys know, I'll show you what I'm working with here. All right. Everything is set highest possible. Frame generation is on. Path tracing is on. So this is that brand new path tracing and all that. While streaming right now with DLSS frame generation on for 4090, I'm getting just about 100 frames. But you guys should see a huge difference here when it comes to the colors. Exactly, which tells me that your SDR monitor doesn't have HDR, exactly. So your tablet makes it look significantly better. Again, this is only for those. So this will be for a select few, but a lot of people actually watch my content on their phones, and their phones mostly have HDR. And if there's any way that I can make my content stand out and look better, that's the whole purpose. And this is with no mods, so I don't have any mods installed. This is just the vanilla because I got a new computer, so all my mods are on my old computer. I haven't played Cyberpunk on a controller in a long time, so I totally forgot which button was my health button. You should be able to choose both. Like, if you have HDR on your phone, it'll automatically say HDR. But again, this stream is because I've never ever streamed in HDR. So that's why I wanted to give it a shot and take a look. Now, I am uploading this stream at 25 megabits a second. I can even go more. But I didn't want to tax most of your guys' internet because, you know, so 25 megabits I think is a good compromise between everything. But just look at that, right? This is what I've been seeing when I play this game, and it's just so beautiful. And I've always wanted to be able to stream in HDR and do more HDR content. You know, you always got to try to make yourself stand out a little bit more, you know.
Some parts of the brain are irreplaceable.
It's so cinematic. So let me explain. Some of the few walkthroughs that I actually have going on in the background right now are Uncharted Lost Legacy. And I'm actually going to give you guys a little sneak peek at that. Hold on a sec. Check this out. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what I've been working on with Uncharted. Should be under... Let me bring it up here. What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host, Sinister1, and welcome to my walkthrough. So I've been working on this, which has been really fun.
One less problem.
But there's a little sneak peek of one of the games that I have been working on. And I've got other ones that I've been working on kind of in the background because I do a mix of recording when I have the chance, and obviously I'm doing DoorDash driving at the same time. So there's a lot of things going on that I'm trying to manage or whatever. But I think this is the best way to do it because, you know, I got to make that extra money via DoorDash to keep the channel running, and then got to make sure I live stream, make sure I do videos. So lots of content, you know, is going to be coming on the way, especially in these next few months because there's not going to be a lot of new games coming out. So you're going to see a lot of my walkthroughs that are going to be coming. I put a lot of effort into these walkthroughs. I've tried to make them as perfect as I can with collectibles and other stuff like that. So I really do hope you at least check them out because it would mean a lot. So this was just a test of what I wanted to do with you know, HDR. So we're going to try it. Our next stream, which will be probably tomorrow, will for Jedi Survivor will be in HDR. So I hope that you guys will enjoy that. Hopefully everything works as intended, as I want. But this was just a test, and I'm going to also take a look at the stream on my phone to see if the HDR was looking good and which looked better. You know, I can kind of test that as well. So other than that, thank you all for just, you know, tuning in for this short little test. And I just wanted to see if it works, and it looks like everything worked just fine. So love you all. Enjoy your Friday, and I will continue working on some videos and have all those out sometime soon. We'll see you next time. Peace.